Vikings tailgate show here on WCCO television as the Vikings get ready to kick it off against the Oakland Raiders at noon here on Channel 4. And, of course, no one's quite sure what the future of the Metro is going to be or if the Vikings will be here for much longer. Joining us right now outside the Dome of State Senator Julie Rosen from Fairmont. And let's establish this right away because you get asked about all the time. We are not related.
We were separated at birth,
okay.
Mark. I hate to tell
Julie,
you that.
Julie, thanks a lot for bringing Well, it's great to have you here. And tell us, we heard Lester Bagley was on a bit earlier with Esme Murphy. From your perspective, and you're the architect really of this bill to try to get this thing done here, where are you in your mind in this roller coaster experience that we've had here at the Viking Stadium?
Well, Mark, there's many architects of this bill. I'm just the face right now, but we've had a very serious working group that's been working on this for a long time. And, of course, you can't move a bill forward without the governor's approval, all four caucus leaders or four caucuses support. So we continue to work very hard on this bill in this working group. And the Senate, of course, has these hearings that are coming up that are extremely important to this process.
We're not going to have a special session the way things look. Arden Hills has been mentioned. The Vikings seem like they want that more than ever. They've talked about they have the agreement with Ramsey County. Does it matter to you from your perspective or anyone in the legislature as far as where this site would end up? As we take a look at Arden Hills here.
Sure. At first, you really can't have a special session unless you have a bill. Unless we have a bill to present and have an agreed-upon site funding stream, and that's what we're working on. As far as I'm concerned, I just want a site that works for the state, for the Vikings, and for the people of Minnesota.
Now, Minneapolis came in. We saw three drawings, artist conception of what that might look like as well. They seem to have come in a little late to the party at the same time. It doesn't seem to really make much difference because nothing's kind of moving the needle. If this thing does go on to January, and it looks that way right now, and we always hear like, well, we have all these other issues to deal with. We got education. We have the economy dealing with it. Will the stadium could afford to be put on the back burner one more time?
Well, the hope is not to put it on the back burner. Everybody fears that it'll get done at the very tail end of the session. I don't think anybody in the working group, the governor, I know the Senate leadership doesn't have any interest in that. The main thing is to get a bill that's workable, to get our funding stream down pat, and to get this location figured out.
What about the expansion of gambling? We've heard that. Right. I use that term loosely, but I mean we've heard everything from electronic pull tabs to racino, which we know the lobbyists would probably have a field day as well. What are your thoughts about that as a funding source?
Well, I think gambling of some kind is going to absolutely have to be one of the key elements to this funding of the stadium. Because when we took off the sales tax increase, the referendum issue for Ramsey County, that's all we have because we made a commitment: no general fund dollars, no statewide sales tax, maybe a little bit of user fee mentality here and there, but really I think it's quite doable with some kind of gaming.
You represent Fairmont. You're a Republican.
Right.
Is there a bipartisan a way of handling this issue down the road? I mean, or are we really pretty strictly down the lines, and though you're on the other side at all?
No, not at all. Anything, as you know, Mark, you've been around a long time. You know that anything big like this you have to bring all the players to the table. You cannot get this thing done without all the players at the table, and so it'll be a smattering of votes here and there. Yeah. It depends on how this thing is all crafted, and we're working very hard on it.
What's the biggest misconception from the public out there about saying? I hear this all the time. We don't want to bail out billionaire owners, millionaire players. What's the reality of how it would affect the taxpayers if this thing comes to fruition?
Well, there would be a $21 million hole into the general fund if the Vikings leave. That's just the bottom line taxes on the income tax and from the players and the ancillary Vikings personnel. I can't imagine. I'm standing here, Mark, and this is a Vikings family. And you have these little Viking fans running around, and they're doing their cheerleading stuff, and they've got all their Viking paraphernalia on. If they leave, you can't even put a number to that. Yeah. So we have absolutely got to put a good bill on the table, and that's what they're asking for, a good bill on the table that we can vote up and down, and hopefully we have the votes. We'll put a vote on the table with the up votes. In
our last minute, are you still confident, despite all the roller coaster world we live in, that this is going to get done? Because do you feel this threat is real? The Vikings would leave if it doesn't come to some sort of positive conclusion for them?
Absolutely. The Vikings is a business. They have every opportunity to go to where they are welcomed, and so we need to put something on the table that shows that we want you to stay. You're a tremendous asset to the state of Minnesota, and we want you here.
We've got some public hearings coming up as
Yeah.
well for the public to participate in. That's
right.
kind of a nice thing for them.
That's a very good thing. It's very important to hear what the public has to say and for the opportunity for us to get the correct information out that we are not bailing out billionaires.
Julie, appreciate your time. State
Thank you,
Senator
Mark.
Julie Rosen, my pleasure. Nice chatting with you.
Nice
Stay
day.
warm. We're going indoors
Yeah,
now.
That's
All
right.
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.